alright? I heard you. I'm sorry. I forgot about Black Widow. I'm sorry. I forgot about Black Widow. Please forgive me. I mentioned it in my Venom video that I forgot about Black Widow, but don't worry, we're getting onto Black Widow now. That is my bad, my fault. I'm sorry. When I did my entire Marvel timeline, I didn't realize I missed out Black Widow. I watched it once and completely forgot it existed. I did have the set for it. I don't have it anymore, but I don't think it is that good, or I don't have fond memories of it until I actually rewatched it. So I rewatched Black Widow, and here are my thoughts, my opinions, and my ranking of Black Widow, and then I have completed the MCU timeline up until this point. So you can all stop getting on my case about it, because I forgot the Black Widow movie. Alright, I get it. I'm sorry. So, without any further delay, let's head over to what Google has to say about this movie. Black Widow is a 2021 action sci-fi, which is 2 hours and 13 minutes long. It is a 6.6 out of 10 and a 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. This is a Disney Plus movie, so you can watch it on there, or you can watch it on Amazon Prime or Google Play. Natasha Romanoff, a member of the Avengers and the former KGB spy, is forced to confront her dark past when a conspiracy involving her old handler arises. So how the story actually goes about is Black Widow was sort of with a fake family, and, you know, she's going about her normal life, not doing anything with the Avengers, gets attacked by Taskmaster, and the Red Room wants her back. She then gets attacked by her sister, and they then decide to team up, and they free their father from prison, and she does a really cool superhero landing and does the hair flip. We then have them going back to meet their mother, who double crosses them and brings them to the Red Room, and they go to the Red Room and they fight their way out of the Red Room, and people can't find the Red Room because it's in the sky. The Red Room then gets exploded. Taskmaster somehow survives. They're falling and fighting in one of the coolest fucking scenes that I've ever fucking witnessed, and then they crash on the ground and continue to fight. Black Widow then dips, and this post-credit scene is Yelena talking to the Thunderbolts person who's putting together the Thunderbolts for the newest movie of the MCU at the time of me making this video. So, right, that's the story, quick run through. Gonna be honest, the character chemistry is the best thing about this movie. The characters sort of colliding against each other is the best part about this movie. The sort of David Harper as the Red Guardian is incredible. He brings such a funny performance as this dad who thinks he can do no wrong and is just trying to sort of talk his way out of situations. Like, he is trying to avoid the real subject matter and just make jokes and try and sort of bypass it all because he's uncomfortable to talk about it. We then have Yelena, who's upset at her older sister for abandoning her and not keeping in contact, so she's pissed off at her. That's fucking great. And then we have Black Widow just upset at all of them and not wanting to talk to any of them, but having to work together on this mission. It's kind of funny how people that don't like each other being forced to work with each other is quite a running theme in the MCU right now. We have the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Avengers movie. We also have the new Thunderbolts movie, where none of them like each other, but they're all forced to work together to overcome the greater evil. And that's just a generic trend in the MCU. I'm not saying it's a bad trend. Some movies don't do it very well, like the first Avengers movie. I thought that was very shit and felt very forced. This one didn't feel very forced. The characters had that chemistry, the characters had that connection, they had that past, and they did a decent job at explaining that past to you in this movie through quite a lot of flashbacks. And I think that's where this movie falls. It has a lot of flashbacks, and I don't think that works well for a film. If you have too many flashbacks, it starts to feel very broken. It doesn't feel like a cohesive story, and the message just is being shoved down your throat. The coolest scene, however, is when they're falling from the Red Room. I think that's badass as fuck. If you've been a fan of the channel for a while, you will have noticed that some of my favorite scenes are car scenes, plane scenes, you know, just fighting on moving objects, train scenes, and falling from great heights whilst fighting. I think that is some peak action sequence there, some peak tension. Like, that is the height of the movie. Like, that is some peak action right there. And having Black Widow sort of fight as she's falling to the ground from an exploding Red Room, which is the place she was tortured, being forced to train every single day of her life, coming to a close, coming to an end, that's got some emotional turmoil to it. That's got some sort of consequences that she's going to be grateful for, but also ungrateful for, because she was in it when it fucking exploded. So it's all crashing down to the ground, and I just think it looks fucking cool. Well, it doesn't look cool because the CGI is kind of off because it was made during COVID, but I still think it was pretty well done. Even if the CGI wasn't, like, top-notch, it wasn't the best, I still think it was pretty fucking cool to watch it all unfold as the characters are falling down towards the ground. I really did enjoy that scene, and it is the highlight of the movie, and the thing that I remember the most, actually. I do feel like they did underutilize Taskmaster. I have read some comics with Taskmaster in it, and I have seen him in the Amazing Spider-Man TV show, and I'm gonna be honest, I do prefer him in the comics. I don't give a shit that they made him a girl. That's not my complaint. My complaint is they didn't use him to the best of his ability, to the best of her ability. She was just kind of there. Like, she was disfigured like Taskmaster is. Not saying that's an issue, not saying that's needed. I'm just saying it's kind of boring. Like, they didn't do much. They were a mind-controlled agent from Red Room, and they were just like another Bucky. That was it. They didn't feel like a threat that could mimic your actions. It didn't feel like a highly trained assassin that could sort of mimic your moves. They were very underwhelming, and they didn't meet the high expectations of Taskmaster. It did just feel like another Winter Soldier, or another, like, Super Soldier, another Black Widow. It didn't make them stand out. It didn't make them unique as a villain. They were kind of basic, so I am hoping that we get to see a little bit more of Taskmaster in Thunderbolts, sort of doing something a little bit more than just being another Yelena or another Black Widow. I would hope that they do something more with that. Again, at the time of me recording this video, I have not seen Thunderbolts. I have heard rumors that Taskmaster is going to die because she's barely in any of the trailers or promotional material. If that is the case, I feel like they definitely wasted the character, wasted so much potential in what could have been so good, and it will be another flop for the MCU, unfortunately. I do believe it is time for a flop. We've been going with good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing, good thing, bad thing for a while now with the MCU, so I do think we are overdue for a flop. Not that I am saying or hoping that the Thunderbolts is going to be a flop, I am just predicting and sort of saying, following old trends, this is what we've seen in the past. I actually do like Black Widow. She's one of my top 3 Avengers, and the only 3 Avengers which I do actually like: Captain America, Thor, and Black Widow. They're my top 3, they're my favorite 3. I don't like Hawkeye, I don't like Hulk, and I do not like Iron Man. So I'm very happy to see that Black Widow has finally got her own movie. Even though it wasn't the best movie out there, it is still good that she got her own movie in the end. I do also feel like it's very weird and felt very out of place that it was a callback and it wasn't like a continuation. It was more of a hop back. It was like a hop, skip, and a jump because it took place all the way back between Civil War and the second Avengers movie. However, bringing it out after Avengers Endgame did leave a little bit of a wiggle room because, you know, people didn't expect her to die because of her new movie coming out. They expected her to continue. But no, this was a flashback movie, so, you know, it brought false hype and false safety for her character inside the MCU. But apparently she is returning in the new one, which is like the Doom movie with, you know, Iron Man returning and Captain America returning. You know what? They're bringing back all 3 of them because Black Widow's coming back as well. That's cool. Just completely write off everything that you did in Endgame. You know, that's great. That's awesome storytelling. Bringing all the people that you had last time to hopefully bring back the money. They're guaranteed to get money and to bring in the big bucks because we already know that these 3 are coming back, so everyone's just going to go for that. overall, I think I went on quite a few tangents which weren't really about Black Widow, but I do still like this movie. I do still think it's pretty decent. It isn't my favorite MCU movie, but it is up there, and it is one of the better ones that I have watched, so I do feel like we can do it a solid 6 out of 10. Other than that, I don't really have much else to say. We are moving on to Star Wars next, so let me know what other movies you want me to watch, what other animes you want me to watch, and I'll get on it as quickly as possible. But other than that, I hope you all enjoyed. I'll see you all next one. Hope you all have an incredible day, and goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.